Okay, so duo queue, 65% win rate versus 50% on solo queue. Doesn't solo queue at all. Doesn't matter who he duo queues with. Mostly his teammates in Envy. Plays just 24 matches in a day, guys. Don't do that. But he plays a lot. Mostly because he's a streamer and he's allowed to. Right? But he plays it consistently. That's what we like to see. So as mentioned, mostly duelist and controller. The only reason why he's controller is because of Clove. Which makes sense. Considering how he plays. Let's look at the maps that he plays. His best maps in particular. Bind, which makes a lot of sense considering the macro on Bind. It's a lot of just team fights and gunfights. And taking hold of space of lanes, which we'll talk about. Damn. Again, mostly Clove. Clove and Phoenix, this Raze is up there as well. So Clove, Phoenix, Raze. Tiny bit of Neon and Lotus. Which is interesting. So Neon and Raze on Lotus, we might see. I've seen his Phoenix a lot, especially on Corrode. It looks really, really good. I haven't seen his Clove on Corrode yet. But we'll look at some Corrode. So we'll look at some Clove because this is most played agent. And we'll see what he does. There's a couple things that I might point out that he does. We're gonna look at this Ascent game because it's just kind of the one that I've had, to be honest, from about a week ago. Can you guys hear this? Hang on, it's muted. Classic. Twitch VOD muted itself. Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we're gonna look at how he does. I don't think I'm gonna see him IGLing or pre-round calling too much. So especially, well, the VOD is muted, so we're not gonna worry about that too much. First thing I want you guys to notice is how often he takes gunfights at the start of the rounds. Especially with players who are very intuitive. I think Kane is a very intuitive player. You'll see that he regularly takes these gunfights that don't feel, maybe might not feel intuitive to you or even to me. And his peaks are not perfect, but his ideas are still good. So, for example, his goal in every single start of the round, from what I've seen so far, so just to get you like up to date with what I've seen, is fast rotating is super important. And he always wants to be the person who takes the first gunfight in the round every single time. And he'll basically do anything he can to be in the gunfights. You'll very rarely see him be the third player alive. He's almost always the first player who's dead or getting a kill, or the fourth if he needs to fast rotate. So keep that in mind when you're watching. So it's 1:30 right now, and he's hugging this Cypher cage. He hears players going up mid. Unfortunately, we do not have any map on this, so we just have to assume what he's seeing based on teammates and things like this. Stinger is insane, by the way. So he plays Stinger a lot, and he plays Phantom a lot. And what you're going to see from this player is, as I mentioned before, Kane is a very intuitive player, which means that when he shoots, he doesn't try to confirm. Very, very rarely he'll try to confirm. The majority of his gunfights are... he just trusts himself to win the fight. So, tuck into short here. And straight away he finds his first gunfight, and it's, again, 3 seconds into the round. So we're going to skip forward, and I'm just going to show you how often he does this. As just like a very clear point. Cypher can be main, Silver Dart on mid. What's he going to do? He tucks into his own smoke, and guess what he does? He just goes for a fight. Once he sees he has advantage, he backs off. This is where I would disagree with him. I've seen this already. I've seen a portion of this clip, this VOD, where it's 5v4, sorry, 5v3, and he's still going for fights. This is where I disagree personally. But he personally values just fighting this anyway. He doesn't care. Right? I don't think you should be doing that, but I want you to keep a very keen eye on how he takes this first gunfight. Not afraid at all just to go for a gunfight on top mid. So that's two gunfights in like under the 130s mark. Notice here, most of you guys would be throwing this one way on A main, and you'd be wasting a smoke. Notice he hasn't just been throwing the one way randomly. And again here, the timing for the smoke is very important as well. Same kind of thing. So he wants to get maximum use out of his smoke. There's absolutely no reason why he should smoke if they are just sat in B main. Unless his teammates call for it or want it for whatever reason. So he's waiting for the timing that they're going to use some sort of smoke. They're going to use some sort of Sova util. They're going to use something like this to say, the attackers are basically going to say, we're hitting the site now. And this is the perfect time if you're a sentinel, if you're like a initiator, Sova, recon, you have any of this type of utility, you have a molly, for example, this is when you want to be using utility. And for canezerra on Clove, his impact comes from his smokes. So the perfect time to drop the smoke, sometimes, in this case for him it is, he has 3 people on the B site, which means he's more likely going to win if they hit the site, especially because it's the sentinel side. He wants them to come out onto the site. The perfect time to drop the smoke, if he wants them to come out onto the site, is... Oh my god, I need to mute my general chat. What the fuck is going on? Fuck. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna go on to no mic. If you guys want to talk to me, type on no mic. I appreciate that. So as I was saying, the perfect time for him to drop a smoke, because he wants them to come out, is when they do anything. So Sova dart, a smoke, or they've tripped this first trip. So for him, watch how tripwire destroyed, he smokes. The Sova dart, they're basically telling him there's this smoke on CT. The attackers are saying, I'm going to hit the site now, we're committed, we're ready to fight. And that's when he drops his first smoke. He will then drop this flood smoke. This is called a flood smoke because it helps you go out from this right side safely to help your teammates. The reason why he does this is because there's 2 teammates on site. And then he genuinely just goes for fights. And it's good because he wants to kill people. That's this game. That's basically That's basically the game. His whole game is, if I have a disadvantage, I want to get it back. So in this case, we're 2v3, and 2 of my teammates have just died on site. He feels the need to just take the fight. And this is going to be a really common theme that you're going to notice over and over and over again. He is always looking to take that first fight or to take initiative in the game. So there are some of these like tiny things like the utility timings that you need to get down and things like this that do matter quite a lot. However, the big key part of what makes canezerra so good right now is that he's more than happy just to take the initiative. So again, I can get through the pre-round. He likely doesn't call shit. Not waste our time. Okay, again, we're in short. And we're probably going to peek B-Link. We peek top mid. And fast rotate. So he is comfortable to fast rotate here because on the minimap, he would have seen Cypher. I have to assume this because, yeah, Cypher's on B right now. You just heard the trip. Just goes to fights, no problem. So fast rotate if they're not hitting our site. I think he was AFK this round. They smoked short. The enemy have like recognized that he's trying to push this. They're pre-firing. So he has ult and he's deciding to sit in this position. And notice how he isn't back in tree or whatever. He has this ult and he wants to take the initiative, right? So this is what we're going to do. If we want to take the initiative, we want to take fights. And it's great because we have our ult. So we're not going to worry about our smoke right now. We're not going to worry about our like medal or anything like this. Any type of utility. If we die, that's fine. We have our ult. So let's play in this angle where we can get one and die, and that's fine because we have our ult. We can revive. So they smoke. He revs. If they followed him into the smoke, the reason why he went back out all the way through, this is just a small detail. Don't need to worry about it, it's too much. But small detail, if the Reyna followed him into the smoke, watch his timer. He comes out into both sides. It just happens that nobody followed him into the smoke, but he would have been able to swing back into the smoke and got a more advantage fight. So, just goes for a fight, no problem. Gets traded. Okay, so nothing new, right? Notice how, again, there's Cypher on B. He's seen the Cypher on B. So what is he going to do? He's going to fast rotate me through mid because it is faster. He asks his team, do you want a smoke? In these situations, I disagree with him personally. I don't think that he should be making this play. However, he doesn't give a fuck. He clearly values getting kills and trying to win his team the round. And so, what does he do? He sprays into the smoke, he throws a medal, he gets scans. He pre-fires because he knows he's been scanned. He's been in a kind of bad position. I don't think you guys should be here. After you recognize it's a 4v3, we should be going, okay, we can just chill, we can just play with our teammates, we can trade our teammates. So, I think this fight is a bit crazy. So move on into the next round. Uh, oh wow, he actually loses that round because he overpushed. Okay, we're back in short. Same thing. Gonna peek into B link. Gonna peek into top mid. The Cypher is B. What does he do? Third time in a row? He fast rotates through mid because it's faster. And he wants to be in the fight. He really does. So again, he's 4v5 right now. So what does he want to do? He wants to get his advantage back by fighting. How is he going to do that? He's going to try and swing. I think it's a bit crazy, but honestly, you don't have much chance to win this round unless you're getting kills here. Let's double check this. I want him to check his... Okay, so they're on like a low buy eco type thing. Jet has Marshall, Silva has Sheriff. Which means both the teammates on B, when he did this play, had terrible guns. So the only way that he's going to win this round is if he shoots everyone. And so he went for it. Fair enough, honestly. Okay, so what was he going to do? Okay, this round he actually one ways. Let's find out why. He's also on eco. He's buying a stinger. All right. Is there any comms? Nope. Just envy, inspire. Just whining. He wants some apple juice, chat. Wonder if we've seen Cypher this time. I don't think we would have. So, recognize this. Slight difference from how he's fast rotating this time. This time he's decided to throw a one-way for his Killjoy. The Cypher is only called 2B. He jiggles mid, sees nothing, and decides to fast rotate. To start rotating. His team calls, there's nothing B. They're not committing B. He noticed how he didn't push mid this round. It's because he doesn't have the information, right? He has the information that no one is mid, but he doesn't know exactly where Cypher is, right? Who could be lurking top mid, who he could be Link, right? They could commit onto B, but Cypher, if he doesn't spot Cypher, I'm not entirely sure if he would be fast rotating through middle. So he spotted the Jet with his jump. What's he gonna do? He's gonna fight it. Because he wants to take advantage. He's on eco, he's got stinger. These are good fights for his stinger. But the most important thing is he wants to take the fight, right? And it's because he wants to take the initiative for his team. Overheats. He has ult. He baited for his Jet. Win the round. This round is insane to me, personally. His aim is not special either. Especially not here, at least. Everyone in the school can do that. But not everyone has the confidence to go, I need to win this game for my team. What am I going to do? Okay, so I don't have information on mid right now. I don't have information on short because I've just left it to rotate. So there is a timing. So what do I want to do? Okay, I want to get that information. How do I want to do that? I want to use some sort of movement technique. In this case, jump spot. I think this is a silent jump spot, which is a bit... You don't need to do this. Okay, let me check. It is. It's a giant silent jump spot. Crazy. But again, he's taking that first initiative for his teammates. Which, on this eco, won him the round. Wow, what a shock. Look at where he is. He's fully running it down. Okay, you see why? So we one-wayed a main straight away. Is there a reason for this? I'm not sure. Just feels like it. That's fine. And he's pushing mid. So watching B-Link, checking for timing. Notice how he doesn't go straight away to mid. There is a timing that they can just peek, right? So watch this. Smoke. Watch this timing for 2 seconds. Okay, now peek mid. And now by this time, camera's been destroyed. There's been information on B. Sadly, we can't see it because he has his minimap covered. But there's been a Sova dart, right? And what have we learned from earlier? When they Sova dart and when they smoke, that means they're going to hit the site. The enemy is telling them, like, hey, we're going to hit the site. And because he's done this fast rotate, he gets a free kill on the server. Wow. Breaks the trip, gets tagged. He knows that someone might peek into him. And this is something I've seen in his Phoenix VODs before, where if he feels like someone's going to peek into him, he'll use some sort of utility. So when did he use the medal this time? I do want to check. He uses a medal here. So he uses his medal here for anyone who's just about to peek him. So they know that he's on flank now. So if there's any timing for someone to be peeking into him, they're going to be at disadvantage due to medal. He's getting scanned to take it off. He takes the fight. Yeah, he's up there straight away. One of the first players to get kills. That's his defense. Kind of simple, no? So defense, let's write some notes. Couple of notes. Fast rotate off of info. Mid preferred if seen. Mid preferred if we've seen Sentinel and they are committing to the site. E.g. Server dart, smokes, Cypher calls, teammate calls. Right. You guys can read this. So on defense, one of the big notes is fast rotate. One of the general notes I'd say is that we always want to be taking initiative. And what does that look like? That looks like always being the first 1-2 player to take a gunfight and get a kill. Specifically, either looking for a fight, gathering aggressive information. We always want to be the first one. We always want to be the first. Take initiative where possible. So either being so either being hang on. And then impact found Aggressive information. Getting a kill. Rotating quickly. Defense. So when I say aggressive information, for example, that means maybe we smoke A main at the start of the round and then we push short to fight mid. Or so let's say Charles fight. And then maybe we pushing into the smoke for mid timings. And you'll actually see this a lot in other players' VODs if you continue to watch professional players' VODs, is that they'll do this all the time. It's very, very common for a player to do something like this. Hang on. So it's very common for players to run out of this smoke on mid. And the reason why is because if you are running through the smoke, you now have to, as an attacker, you have to have someone watch this while you scale mid. And it always becomes a threat, and this is no longer a safety barrier. So even if you don't get a kill peeking out this mid smoke, they now think, okay, she's gonna peek out of this mid smoke. That sucks for us. I don't like that. I hate that. And now I have to watch that every time. So even if you don't get a kill, this can be impactful, which sounds insane and crazy, but it makes sense, right? Because most people aren't going to be peeking out the smoke. So that alone gives you the advantage that when you do, if you have good timing, so for example, if you have like a Sova here, it's even better if you can do this. If you have a Sova here, throwing a dart, right? Or throwing a dart mid when they're pushing from market, so this is even better, that's just, like technically speaking, because, is it? Anything from market. Maybe not necessarily a dart. Maybe a dart from top mid. Maybe a dart like here would actually be better. Or a drone. You don't really want a dart here because then it'll be watching the mid market, which is kind of not great. So I take that back. But any type of like teammate utility can make this even better. But just like dry swinging the smoke is also very good. And the first thing you watch is top mid. Notice how that when canezerra did it, he looks at top mid. Because the most likely person to be watching the cat smoke is someone who is standing here watching it. Because this player is also watching the market push. And is going to be reacting to this jet. And then he's going to clear the players' tiles and then mid. Because these players are going to be wanting to go this way. But these plays are very, very common. And especially on Ascent, you'll see this quite a lot. So getting a kill, obviously we know what getting a kill is, right? I think shooting someone in the head makes sense. I think that's pretty good impact. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then rotating quickly, at least in defense. So we always want to be the first one to be taking initiative where possible. I think we will also see this in attack. I think we'll also see canezerra just running at people almost to find fights. So utility. Let's look at economy. We're gonna look at economy. Economy. The eco. We bought a lot of stinger. Lots of stingers, stinger buys. Lots of phantom. No vandal. We didn't see a single vandal buy. So lots of stingers, no sheriffs really. We didn't see sheriffs. We saw lots of stingers, lots of phantom. I definitely noticed that he buys lots of shorty plays, and he buys the shorty a lot. So on the ecos, he even forces stinger. So I'm actually gonna write that because he forces stinger to 0 creds. On these eco rounds, he's literally forcing stinger to 0 creds and then like picking up a phantom when he gets kills. I think this is a little bit crazy. I think it's a bit a bit crazy, but that's just kind of how it is. I mean, that's what he does, so we've got to note it, you know what I mean? So, fast rotate. Um, Mid preferred if we've seen a sentinel and they're committing to the site, e.g. server dart, smokes, teammate calls. CT rotate. And quickly getting info. CT rotate if lack of info. I think that's a better way to write it. For utility, we saw, what did we see? One way main. We didn't see him use it very much, unfortunately. That's fine. We didn't see any mid util. We saw the meadow. Let's break it down into smokes and the meadow. The molly. So what do we see from the meadow? One way A main, B main smoke. From teammate calls. When they commit the site, I would have liked to see site smokes. We didn't see that very often. But the reason why we didn't see site smokes, so for example, if you watch Xander or a smoke main, you might regularly see, so for example, Omen on this map is very common. You might regularly see a site smoke like this to help their team get onto the site and retake together. We didn't see this very often because Kane just wants to fight people. He just wants to kill people, which makes sense, you know? So if he's down mid, and maybe they're hitting the site, he's almost certainly going to be he's almost certainly going to be here by the time that they've taken the site, or going to be fully flanking, and then at that point, you don't even need the smoke. Or he's going to be in market already fighting and probably already dead by the time his teammates need the smoke. So we didn't see it, unfortunately. Or at least if I did, I missed it. Unlucky, but might be something for you guys to look out for if you're looking for, if you're a smokes player, a smokes main, and you're looking to improve further. Looking at players like Xander or anyone who is a smokes main, you'll see this a lot more. You'll see more supportive smokes, and we won't see that so much in these VODs where we're just fighting, basically. We're looking for this initiative. We're trying to find as many fights as humanly possible. So, yeah, that's totally fine. That looks like our defense though. So economy just forces Stinger down to 0. Lots of Phantom, no Vandal, Shorty. I don't think I saw anything else really from Comes to mind. Mid preferred if they have seen blah blah blah. If they have info, CT rotate lack of info, and util one way, nothing crazy. The metal, if playing aggressive throws very quickly if someone can peek into him. So what we did see is that when he was a B main, we saw him throw the medal for any timing that someone could walk into him like this, right? Not afraid to just throw it. And the same thing here. He threw his medal on this eco round with a stinger. That seems very, very strong for obvious reasons, right? You have a stinger and you're throwing a medal that goes down to 2 HP, especially in a place like short. That sounds very strong. So he's not afraid to just throw them halfway through a fight. So notice how he ran out this way and then threw his medal, if you guys remember. That's kind of crazy, but he just did it very quickly. He's not afraid to do stuff like that. I think that's very good. He's very happy just to jump around and do crazy shit. Very confident doing that. And I don't think it's trolling at all, by the way. I don't think it's bad at all. So this is kind of what I saw, really. It was a bit basic, but maybe that's all you need. Maybe that's all you need to be a #1 Radiant player. What do you guys think? Let's look at attack. Look at his pissed around. I kind of skipped it. Let's see if he calls anything. No, he's playing fucking Clash. Playing Clash. Wow, what a shock. This is why I've been skipping pre-round, sorry. Okay, we're peeking before the dart. He smoked short. Let me see what he buys on this round. Buys, okay, on the pistol. Pistol by Eco. It's obvious, but just in case you guys didn't know. Heal, 2 smokes, and armor. Okay. We can go back if you want, but I think it's the same on defense. Oh, he was AFK. I'm not going to count it. I'm not going to look at it. I remember he was AFK. This is a good smoke. I'm going to give you a ranked secret, guys. Ranked secret. If you want to win every single pistol round on Ascent, call this. If you have a Sova and you have a Smokes player, doesn't matter who, and especially if you're the Jet player, you can call this as a Jet player. I call this every single Ascent game that I'm on, and it's so successful. It's insanely successful. And people who distrust me immediately find out, oh shit, like this is good. This is good. If you guys want to win in any rank, you go, hey Sova, can you dart bot mid? Can I get a smoke on short? And then can I get a smoke on CT? I'm gonna go market. And everyone go market apart from the Sentinel, and then Sova can follow with them. If you want to be a little bit more in depth. So let's say maybe you have this. This is a 5th player, doesn't really matter. Maybe a KO if you want to be really specific. Oh my god, scrims. You're never going to see a KO. Hope you don't see a KO in ranked. If you play KO in your ranked games, you're trolling, okay? I'm very sad. But just for those who want to see it. This is really, really good. Sova dart in bot mid. Clears bot mid. Obviously, the smoke here. Nobody's going to push out of it, but you kind of do want someone to watch it. As we kind of mentioned, if you do push out of it, it's very strong. So that is just a thing. So just kind of wait for the dart. It will clear it. You can watch this as you path. All of your teammates will go. Preferably you'll have a little flash. You'll dash into the market player. You'll fight all of this. It'll be great times. These teammates will go up and be main. It's very successful. You don't need the smoke here. And the reason why you don't need a smoke here is because there aren't going to be people here. Okay? Right? Makes sense. If you think about it. Where are the people going to be on a default, on pistol round, on Ascent? There's going to be... So let's get these guys out of the way. Why do we not need a smoke here? And why do you want one CT? It's because there's always going to be someone CT. Almost always. Always, always, always. There's never going to be someone here. Very rarely is there going to be someone there unless they're starting to stack it. Okay? There's going to be one on A. Doesn't matter if they're A main. It's too far away. There's going to be one in cat. Doesn't matter if they're here. Because then they'll push this way. It's more natural. Okay? And you're holding for that. Okay? That's an option that you're already aware of. So there's 2 players here. Then there's going to be one market or pizza. This is something you do have to worry about. Okay? So market or pizza. Most likely market. That's where most people start. If they started bot mid and saw the Sova dart and didn't want to break it or couldn't break it, they might rotate to pizza. Just be aware that is an option. Okay? So, again, why do we not need to smoke? It's because the other players are going to be here, right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the other player? Where else do you see another player? You're going to like them see them in CT. They might double up in mid. So, again, the pizza thing. It is a little bit worry, but at the start of the round, you're very, very rarely going to see someone sat in spawn, jumping dial, doing scrim shit, okay? You're not going to see it, so you don't need the smoke, and this rotate is too slow if you are doing this correctly. So calling the CT smoke is very important, because there's always going to be someone here, always, always, always. Okay? So what is canezerra doing in this, which makes this exactly very important? I want you guys to notice, where is the Sova dart going? So we have Killjoy in A main. Jet is top mid. Sova's top mid with us. We are top mid. Where's our... Who is that? Cypher. Who is that, actually? That's a Cypher. Okay, we have 2 Sentinels. Alright, I was getting confused. Look what happens. We dart bot mid. We're smoking short. So we're faking this A presence, like this market presence right now. Right? The Cypher's making sound. We've actually stopped making sound in the smoke for just a second. We clear it. We peek. And then we want to be the first one to take impact. So we don't smoke it. We don't get scared. We've noticed that we've headshot them. Just fight. And then look, he's not worried about grass. He's not worried really about heaven right now. Look, he's knife out even. You see what I was saying? Nobody's going to be in CT. Nobody's going to be here. Nobody. And then there's timing. So that was the market player that just peaked, and that was a CT player that just peaked. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy shots. Good shots. But not impossible. Right? Not impossible. These are not like insane shots. These are not generational shots that you can't hit. You're not fluorescent. But they are good. That comes to just a lot of practice. So what we were talking about, where was that last player going to be? Last player was going to be, so it was 1B, maybe 2 mid, right? Just so happens, Sova was mid. Okay. So by taking a very common little strategy that the Radiants already do, they know this, they just do it. They don't need to comment, they just do it. In your lobbies, you might need to comment. You might need to say, hey, Sova, can you dart bot mid? Can we smoke cat? Can we go through bot mid? In my opinion, doing a B split is much easier than doing something similar to this. This is a lot more complicated. However, it's still possible. But this pistol round is very good. Okay. So just play Clash until you win, until you're Radiant, you know? That's all you have to do. Go AFK and play Clash. Simple as that. We actually get to see the map this time. So what are our Radiant friends going to do? Dart bot mid? Notice how even the other Radiants are looking to get these first fights. Killjoy, Envy, Inspire, another professional player, his duo, is looking to get the first fight. Even as a Sentinel, we want to take that first fight. Ronald, taking the first fight. Just taking it. Doesn't care. Just gun out, let's go. Right? You always want to be the player to get that impact first. So they're just walking up. They're just taking full info. Jet's following the drone. I mean, they're AFK. Not much you can really say. Let me see if I didn't miss anything. Did I miss anything here? No, I didn't miss anything. Cool. Yep, just sit there and play Clash. Swing mid. Anything he's doing with his smokes? No. Okay. I'm gonna start mid, top mid again. What mid smoke? I guarantee he didn't call it. Because otherwise Sova wouldn't have darted. Just goes with his jet. Doing the silly shit? Don't do the silly shit, chat. Don't do it. The jump, though, it makes sense. Because he doesn't want to be traded. So the jump here actually makes sense. This silly shit is similar. It makes sense. If someone is in these areas, this jet should trade canezerra. Don't do it. just peek it normally. Clear it as you would. You can take your time. Here, he's jumping around this corner because as his jet is peeking. He's jumping into the smoke. You guys look at his eyes over here. He's looking at his minimap when he jumps into the smoke. So he goes into the smoke, he just takes his time just to look at the minimap. Just see what's going on. What's going on my screen? Do I need to be worried about this angle? Are they fighting my Sova? Okay, I've seen the Reyna. I've seen the Clove. Where do I want to go? I want to go Heaven, because maybe there's a timing there. Looks like, no, the Reyna's already worked up. He said it as well. Reyna goes first, really close to his teammate. Trades. 4v3 goes for kills. Not really missing anything. Okay. Is this a 5-man? He has ult too. He really likes to jump around these corners. I'm gonna note it. I'm gonna note it down. Trading teammates. Trading with teammates. Loves to jump around. When he has teammate nearby. Or is expected to be traded. This is complicated, and I don't think he should be doing this necessarily. I think in some situations this can be good. But I think you should really be thinking about how do we always take the first initiative? How do we take this initiative? How do we carry our team to wins? Right? So we want to be the one who is trading, preferably. Do you always want to be doing this? Yes, no, maybe. I would say do this when you have ult and hitting sight. You want to be kind of hard to shoot. You want to be annoying. Right. He goes fully out, looking to be an annoying piece of little shit to anyone who's over here. He wants to fully drag everyone's crosshair out to the middle of site so his teammates can trade him. That's his whole goal, is just to be annoying. And it works. They're now on a 2v1. That's just how it is. Is there anything I'm missing? Does he use his utility? So, Sova Dart clears a main. Someone shoots it from heaven. Smoke. Normal? These two normal smokes. Jumps out, gets some info. Notice the pacing on these 5-man hits. There's no pausing for any of these players. Look, they're all W key right now. They're all throwing utility. The Sova's droning. I don't think the Sova should be droning here. It's a bit slow, but fine. Yeah. They win that. They won it. It's the same round. However, this time he's walking up short with his knife out. So, in this round, he doesn't have his ult. He's going away from his team, just doing a split. And he doesn't clear anything. I think you guys should be a little bit more careful. Especially here. I would 100% have my gun out here. I would expect someone to be here. He's expecting them to be in the smoke or on site. Because last round, he saw everyone come out straight away. So watch this. So Clove, Arena, Jet straight away. Look at this molly. Jet is straight away out. This round, he's just doing something slightly different. I think this works out, honestly, if he has his gun out. So, what does an A hit look like for us? Fast A hit. Typically, let me just make sure that we understand this. Ascent, Low, canezerra. How do I get this ink? This is a random VOD from like a week ago. I don't actually know how to get this link. Wait, fuck it. I don't care. Something along those lines. See. Cool. So again, similar stuff. We always want to be the first to take initiative where possible. Impact found. So he's always been aggressive. That makes sense to us so far. So for example, tiles fight, smoking to mid-foot timings. On attack, this might look like just pushing shit with his team. He's almost always the first or second out. Typically looks like defaulting and base. So far, defaults don't really exist. I'm not gonna lie to you. In ranked, you'll find it very hard to default, and everyone's default looks different. So if you're ever gonna call a default in your ranked games, it needs to be different. Okay, you need to call it very specifically how you want it. Hey server, can you smoke short? Can you smoke short? Okay. Hey server, can you dart mid? Can we get a smoke at short? Can this be our default? And then we fight mid. Right? That will be like a call that you might make in a comp game in order to build a default that everyone understands and everyone goes, okay, so this is how we're going to take this first initial space. In these games, it will look slightly differently because everyone already knows what they're kind of doing or what they want to do. If there's 5 people on A, they know for a fact they're going to hit A fast. And you'll see this in every ranked game when you see a Radiant ranked player. You'll see if there's 5 people in lobby, they are always going to go fast. They might walk up onto the first angles, and that is a contact play. However, they're always going to go fast. And then the trades are going to come in really quickly too. So what does a B hit look like for him? Is he the first contact on his B main hit? Let me check. Smoke. Jumps out. Notice this? Smoke jumps out. Fast B hit. With ult. Smokes straight away from barrier. Then jumps around to make himself hard to hit. And then similar thing. Smoke straight away from barrier. Jumps around. Plays first contact in main. Round hole. One concept you guys might be aware of, if you understand the difference between a Jet and a Reyna or a Phoenix, these types of things, these 3 duelists have different roles. These 2 have the same role. This one has a different role. So for example, these 2 have the same roles. These 2 have different roles. Let me explain that. So we have the entry duelists, and then we have the fighter duelists, right? The job of the fighter duelists is to be taking the first contacts and taking the space so that the entry duelists can do their job, getting out onto the site and making space. So these guys are all about fighting, getting kills, shitting on people, so that these guys can go out safely and make that space on site so that everyone could go plant the bomb and play the round. Okay? And so what Clove is doing, because you can smoke after death and you have some level of impact, and again, you want to be the first one to be taking the initiative. You want to be taking first contact here, and similar to a Reyna, similar to a Phoenix, because to let your jet go out next, to be safe before you go out. So this jet player should really be here, waiting for this first initial peak, right? Because the jet player wants to come here so that they can dash into boathouse, or they can dash over here, they can dash to front site. All of these types of things, right? So they're taking this first initial peaks by jumping this way so that this player shoots the Clove instead of the jet. So that's why you'll watch as he jumps this way. It's very fast if he jumps directly forward right here towards this box. Jump. Let's see what Inspire does, actually. Kind of interested. That peak is fucking clean. You guys see that? Wait. Watch this peek into a peek into a market, a peek into CT. Yummy. Looks good. Yeah, so they didn't take the B main space. Unlucky. I think he's tilted at this point. A little bit. Alright. Oh, there you go. It wasn't much attack. It wasn't much attack at all, unfortunately. It wasn't the greatest game for attack. We didn't see too much on attack, but the defense was very good. The defense was very, very good. So generally speaking, what we can learn from this VOD so far is that we always want to be the first to be taking initiative. This is very, very important. Notice how in every single gunfight at the start, he's running it down almost. Almost fully running it down. He finds his impact, especially on defense, in this aggressive information, getting the kills and rotating quickly in order to get the kills, etc. On defense, he ecos. The economy looks like forcing stingers, even to 0 credits. I don't recommend you guys do this, but it is a thing that you can do. It clearly works for him, so it might work for you. There's lots of Phantom. The benefit of Phantom is that, honestly, it's just a better gun. It's not shiny. It's not fancy. Doesn't get you many cool clips of one-taps and things like this. Kinda does, kinda doesn't. It's very intuitive. You just shoot it, and it kind of shoots itself. It aims itself. So Phantom is very good. I know that players use Shorty. I'm going to put this down. I know that he plays Shorty. We didn't see it too much in this VOD, but I know that he plays Shorty, so buy Shorty. Very good. When the fast rotates happen, mid is always preferred if we've seen the Sentinel and they're committing to the site. Especially if we've seen the Sentinel, because that means nobody is going to be on these mid lurks, right? So if we've seen Sova Dart, so how they know that they're committing to the site is the Sova Dart, smokes, teammate calls, things like this. And then if we don't know anything, we don't have the information that they're going to be fast rotating, they're going to be fast pushing, things like this, then we want to rotate through CT. Okay? What does his util look like on defense? It looks like basic smokes. You don't need to be crazy. However, I think the most important thing is the medal, the molly that he's using. if he's playing aggressively, he throws it during combat, basically, into any timing where someone might peek into him. This is very, very strong. I think this is something definitely to note. If you're watching canezerra. On attack, kind of sucks. We didn't really see much of it. But we didn't see any moments, and you will see this in your games all of the time. This is why you guys suck, okay? You guys suck. I suck as well, because I do this as well in my shitty rank games, in the shitty lobbies that I have. When you are 5 on A or 5 on B, you have to go fast, okay? And this is one thing that you'll notice all the time if you're watching Radiant. All the time. Because if you have 5 people over here, right? And let's say, you know, you're against canezerra taking this fight, well, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get flanked, and then suddenly you're gonna have no space on the map. You can't rotate. You can't hit the site. You don't have options. If you take too long, you're not gonna have options. You're gonna lose anyway. Doesn't matter what you do. Okay? So the best option is hitting fast if you have 5. If you have no map control, you don't have a choice. You have to go no matter what. Even if it sucks. Even if it feels like shit, you have to go. Notice how even these players, do you notice on that round where they have Killjoy ult, for example, and there's still 2-3 people alive, they still hit B? Right? It's because every other option sucks. Rotating sucks. You don't want to do this. You really, really don't. You never really want to cancel on a B hit or a fast exec when you have 5 people. You can maybe get away with it if you have a Sentinel. Like, you can definitely get away with it if you have a Sentinel on and Link and you're all in A main, for example. Right? Because you have the map space. You have the information that nobody's pushing you mid. Nobody's pushing you B main. You have this information that they're most likely to be stacked on A. So that way you can rotate, okay? That makes sense. So we don't see many slow A hits. You can contact it. That makes sense. If you're shifting up, it does make sense to do that. However, it's still not great. So we didn't see any like slow or like rotates or anything crazy like that. Defaulting in general space. For Ascent, you're looking at taking mid lots. So take mid lots. That might look like Sova dart mid, bot mid. Clove, smoke, short. Or mid 1, depending on where your team wants to end. So if you don't know what mid 1 is, this is scrim callouts. If you're looking to scrim in the future, you have mid 1, you have mid 2, and then you have mid 3. Okay? I'm sure you guys knew that already. You guys are the goats. You're in my Discord server for a reason. So mid 1 smoke, mid 2 smoke, mid 3 smoke. You'll see this in scrims very often. High Radiant players will use this comms all the time. This is what it's called. So if you guys don't know what mid 1, mid 2, and mid 3 is, then that is it. So what we'll see on our when we're taking space is that we are often using some sort of utility to clear mid, almost always, and then a smoke in any of these positions. We saw it in mid 1 and we saw it in short on this VOD in particular. We actually saw a smoke in mid 2 when they were on defense, and this smoke is, it can be good for you, can be bad for you. So what does this smoke do? This mid 2 smoke here. So on defense, we saw this when canezerra was in middle. They started the round here because they wanted to avoid the Sova dart. Maybe. Might be a logic that you have. It might not be. That's fine. Maybe you just want to start pizza because you might want to have this fast rotate as a little bit safe, right? Maybe they want to dodge the dart. It's fine if you want to start here. If you want to start here, start here, start here, start here, start here. Just have the same intention, right? I want to be taking initiative. How do I do that? If I start on A. If you start on A, for example, then maybe you want to smoke here, and that's how you fight. And if you see nothing, then you fast rotate really quickly. However, how he decided to do it is when he started in pizza this run round, he smoked mid 2 and went into his smoke. And the reason why he would smoke mid 2 instead of like mid 1, like this, I mean, If you're smoking mid 1, you're getting rid of your information. You don't have information. You don't really see the smoke very often. It's not very good. Just doesn't feel comfortable because you're just giving them a free smoke. So this mid smoke too, it kind of does the same thing. However, you're now creating these angles in market. If they were to push into market like this, it feels a lot more comfortable. So this is why you'll see a mid 2 smoke on defense instead of mid 1. That's why he smoked here instead of here. And also with his mid 2 smoke, he can walk out of it, which is what he did to fight these angles. And then he eventually fought into top mid and got a kill, right? And he was just avoiding that dart. So there are options. There are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of options. And nothing is wrong, honestly. But if you have the same idea, you need to have this intention of like, okay, I want to be taking the first initiative where possible, right? And this is the kind of idea that you want to have in your mind if you want to play similar to canezerra. You want to carry your lobbies. You want to win, right? You don't want to suck. So there's nothing special on the eco, to be honest. I might go back. I mean, we could go back. I don't feel like it matters that much. I didn't see anything special. I don't remember him buying. Yeah, Stinger. What a surprise. Phantom. What a surprise. Phantom. What a surprise. Phantom. What a surprise. Okay, yeah, just nothing special. Stinger, Eco, Phantom, rifle round. Okay. So fast execs, again, nothing special, but takes their first contacts. Default taking space, taking mid lots, trading with teammates. He's almost always first or second out. Almost always first or second out onto the site or getting a fight. He's almost always the first, actually. But sometimes he's second. Anything else that I missed? Is there anything? Does anyone have questions? No questions? No thoughts? No feelings? No vibes? That's fine.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. You're so right. Thank you. This is the notes that I'd probably give as just a breakdown for canezerra. I would like to see more attack. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of it. So I'm gonna note that. Didn't see much attack. But the defense was really, really good. Really, really good. Okay. So if you guys want, this is what you do. I'm not gonna watch more of this. This VOD has no more clove or anything like that. But the link is there if you guys want to watch it back, anything like that. Cool. Thanks guys for coming and saying hi and listening to me yap. Hope it helps. Hope you get something, learned something from it. Is there anything I'm missing? No, not really. I got everything. What the what am I reading? You should pin that, by the way. I can put this in my donator spot. If you guys are interested, you can go on my Ko-fi, my coffee. You can find my coffee somewhere. Mechanics information, probably. Nope. Get coaching. Yep, there you go. You find it here. under get coaching. You can get a membership. You can get my mechanics coaching. I do mechanics coaching. I do in-game coaching for anyone who's interested. I will break down your gameplay. I'll figure out things that you're doing in your gameplay, your weaknesses, your strengths, all that cool fun stuff, for a little price. And if you join a membership, it's like £5. You get access to aim document and some other cool fun stuff. Yeah, I'm super excited to hear from you guys. And yeah, thank you for coming, saying hi, all that cool fun stuff. I might have just uploaded this as like a YouTube video or something. For anyone who's interested. So yeah, I think I won't do another one. It's kind of midnight, so it's kind of getting on. But yeah, I think I'll do these in the future. I think they're quite fun actually. So if you guys are interested, then I will definitely ping again. And if you're looking to get a membership, then I'll do these more often in the if you're a member of Neon, Reina, Jet, and they're like, the Neon is £5, and look at what you get. You get all of the coaching VODs that I've ever done. It's a lot, for a lot of players, and I got a post too, I think.